Freddy. I got the hammer on my side, smell good, cause I'm high, pockets on boost, pressing like a dead man, pockets on boost, I'm on my stupid crazy. Yeah, look, I'm on the next level, you on the first level, like T.O. said, the old show you next year. I'm this year, I ball hard, found out. I ball out, throw that money out, boy. I come first, you come last. Where my money at? Pop her back with the stack, get another stack, throw it right back. What's it like that? Hit him with the right, hit him with the left, come right back. Now that's it. Hit me up, little Freddy. I got it going. Yeah. Got that pistol on my side. Go. Pistol on my side, pistol on my side. You don't want